So there was a lady that was so much in debt that not only did she lose everything she had, but now creditors were threatening to come and take the only thing she had left, her children, her 2 little boys. Now some of you parents, you're hearing this and in your mind you're like, I don't care how much money I owe, I wish somebody would try to come and take my kids. Others, you're thinking, yeah, go ahead and take my kids. I bet you be back in 24 hours to drop them off after they take care of you. But in all seriousness, you got to ask yourself, how much money do you have to owe somebody to make them threaten to come and take your children? This lady was in a tough predicament. And now in this time, she hears that there's a prophet who is in town. Now in those days, prophets were known as seers because God would show them things and reveal things through them and even speak through them. And so when people had situations where they had no answer for, they would say, let us go and see the prophet. And then go to the prophet and it's like, please tell me, what is God saying about my situation? I need an answer from God. And so this lady, she goes to the prophet and she knows who this prophet is because her late husband had a relationship with him. And she said, listen, my husband, the one you know, is dead and he left us in so much debt. And now not only did I lose everything I have, they're coming to take my boys. Now check this out, because when I first read this, the answer the prophet gave her stunned me, and I'll be honest with y'all, it made me a little upset too, because she explained everything to him and his response to her is, tell me, how can I help you? What do you have in your house? Now I'm thinking, she just told you she lost everything she has. She has nothing left but her boys, and now these creditors are coming and to take her own children. And your response to her is, what do you have in your house? Now, maybe there's something deeper in that statement. Some of you, based on what I've said so far, you already know this story. And so if you don't know the story, it's taken right out of 2 Kings chapter 4. It's the first 7 verses. Now, in the essence of time, I'm just going to get straight to the point, because you see, she had to take a moment and stop looking on the outside for her answer. And she had to take a moment and turn around and look on the inside. Because on the inside of her house, there was this value that she had, this valuable possession that she had, that she overlooked and passed time and time again. It was a jar of oil. And if you know the story, it was through this jar that God did something through that changed her life and the trajectory of her life and her boys' life for the rest of their lives. You see, it was in that jar of oil that she followed the instructions the prophet gave her. And the Bible says that it was enough. What she made off of that, the profit she made off of this oil, was enough for her to pay off all her debt. And listen to this, and live off the rest. It says you and your sons will live off the rest. That means to me that even after she was gone, there was so much money left over that her boys were able to continue living off of the profit of this oil. Now, where am I going with this? You know, we're wrapping up 2020 right now. It's the final day, December 31st of 2020. And in this year, some of us have lost significantly in one area of our lives or the other. Some of us have lost income. Some of us has lost jobs. Some have lost loved ones. Some of you, you may have lost hope. You lost maybe in just, you don't know what to expect. Yes, we're wrapping up a year and stepping into a new year, but we don't know what to expect. There's still that certain level of uncertainty, and it's unsettling. But what I'm here to tell you today is what Bishop T.D. Jakes says. What if your breakthrough or your miracle is not in what you've lost, but what if it's in what you have left? Some of us, after this video is over, I'm urging you to take a look on the inside. Some of you, I believe we all have this jar of oil in our lives, figuratively speaking. Something that we have that we probably overlooked or taken for granted, and we stored it in the back of our mind somewhere, and this jar is just collecting dust. But what if what's inside of that jar is enough to change your life permanently? Some of you in that jar, you probably have a business idea. Some of you have a gift or a talent. Some of you have something, some idea, some invention, something that God has put inside of you that we overlook, but it's the ticket to turning your whole life around. For as we wrap up 2020, as we are reflecting on the year, but also looking into the next year with expectation, my advice to you is to take a look on the inside, take an inventory. We see 2020 has taught us something, that life is fragile. The Bible says life is but a vapor. You're here today and you're gone tomorrow. We only get one life. And some of us have been holding back on doing the things you really want to do in life out of fear. Fear of failure, fear that it's not going to work out for you, fear of falling flat on your face. But the only thing fear is going to do is cause you to live a life beneath the potential that you have. So as you take an inventory, my advice to you is finally get that bottle, wipe it off, and let it out what's on the inside. Whatever the idea is, whatever that desire is, whatever the business is, whatever it is that God put in you. Because you see, not only is it enough to change your life, it's enough to change the life of the people around you, the people who are depending on what God has instilled inside of you. So in 2021, let us make a decision to live a life giving life everything we have, pedal to the metal, making our impact now, because none of us knows when our time is up here. So I hope this helped you. I want to wish you and your family a happy new year, a blessed rest of your 2020, and a happy, joyous, prosperous, and abundant and healthy 2021, you and your family. With love and respect from myself, on behalf of myself, my wife SueAnn Fequiere, our children, our family, our church, First Baptist Church and Plantation, and JSFequiere, we want to wish you and yours a happy new year. God bless you. And in the words of my daughter's favorite movie, Frozen, in 2021, show yourself. Let it go. Whatever is in that bottle, it's time to let it out, because God has something He wants to do in you and through you, and it's going to change the lives of those around you. God bless you. Much love and respect. Happy New Year.